then, well, welcome back to our Q&A Thursday session brought to you by myself, Ola and Jacob.
So this week we're talking about social media and the new features that have been launched over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, so let's just get straight into it. So the first feature that we're going to be talking about is the Twitter audio tweets. So last week, Twitter released a blog where they were announcing their new audio tweet feature. So some of you might have seen this. This limited feature, it allows people to create just 140-second videos to post onto your Twitter feed. And they decided to do this after the realization that a lot can actually go unsaid or like misinterpreted when you're texting. I know myself, sometimes when I text just by text or like on social media, sometimes people don't fully understand the meaning behind what you're saying, and it could cause a few issues. So you might be wondering, how will this affect my Twitter feed? So currently, this is just limited to iOS users, and all users will have access to this new feature in the coming weeks. So some of you might have already noticed it on your feed, but others you will in the future in like a few weeks. So so audio tweets are actually similar to using text. So whilst you're scrolling on Twitter, it will just appear on your normal news feed. It won't be anything like, not a dramatic change, and your followers will all be able to view it. But you're not actually able to reply to these audio tweets with an audio message yet. So hopefully that is something that Twitter will make accessible in the future. So there's actually been quite a big issue surrounding this. Even though it might seem like a positive change, which I definitely do think it is, there is an issue with deaf users of Twitter because it's not accessible to them. So there was this deaf journalist called Liam O'Dell who suggested that with the new feature, it might actually segregate Twitter's deaf audience. But since then, Twitter have made an apology regarding the issues, and they've said that they're going to be developing the audio tweets further. So, which obviously I think that's great that they've addressed the issue. And the social media company will also create a dedicated group of people who will focus on accessibility, because at the moment they don't actually have a team for accessibility. They just have the current employees who are volunteering rather than an actual formal team. So I do think it is good. I think there's many positives surrounding it. Obviously, I do think it's a huge issue, for deaf users not being able to use it. But as long as they're going to improve on that, and they've acknowledged that that is a bit of a downfall of it. So What do you guys think? Do you want to comment in the comment box down below about whether would you use it yourself, or do you think it can be a useful feature? Jacob, do you want to give your opinion on it?
Well, first of all, I've just seen Steve has just commented saying, how long can they record the audio for? Do you know that?
Yeah, so it's 140 seconds long. So I do think that is, when you think about it, 140 seconds is actually quite long. So hopefully you'll be able to get your message across in that.
Yeah. I'll say thank you very much for commenting, Steve. But I think it is a useful feature. As you say, your tweets can get lost, and you can't really put your message across. Using your voice and having that personal touch it can share your information a little further and get your followers to understand where you're coming from. I think it does give it a bit more of a personal touch.
Yeah.
See, Heather's just commented as well, saying, will it automatically play when you're scrolling? Do you know anything about this, Ola?
No, I don't think it'll just automatically play. I think it'll probably be something where you have to click play to listen to it. Yeah,
well, I've seen a couple audio tweets on my feed, and you do have to press play to hear it all, and you can pause it. It doesn't just carry on as you're scrolling past.
Yeah, because you're going like through your day-to-day life, and then on Twitter, and it just
starts coming out. Yeah, no, so you can pause it and play it, so it won't interrupt your feed. But speaking about Twitter, another feature they've released recently is tweet scheduling. Now, this is really a game changer, because now users can choose when and where they want the tweets to go. You know, which account, what time, and it's very useful because you can plan you know, a week's worth of social media activity within the web page. So for those watching, if you have a business, this could be a key feature for you. If you're a small business and you want to manage your social media activity, usually you'd have to use different software like I think Buffer and Social Sprout. Now these softwares are quite expensive, and they cost quite a bit per month. But with this new scheduling feature, you know, it's free. Any business can use it, and this will, you know, it will now allow small businesses to build their presence on social media, and yeah, build their awareness on social media, which you might not have been able to do beforehand, you know, because it could have cost so much. So you guys in the chat, let us know. Do you think you would use this feature? Do you think it's something you would use for your business? And Ola, what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea that they've introduced this feature?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, in particular for businesses and, you know, influencers too, whose job is on social media. I think personally, I wouldn't need to use it just because I don't need to like schedule a tweet. I can just write it whenever. So on a personal level, I probably wouldn't need to use it, but I think it is a great feature, especially for businesses, like I said. So yeah, I think it's great.
I've just seen another comment from Steve. He's just said, will this work for medium to large businesses? Well, I mean, anyone can use it. Medium, large businesses can use it. But, you know, as I said before, there are different softwares out there. And these different softwares, they give you more flexibility. They give you more features. You can upload your content on different social medias, you know, by duplicating it. So I think for medium to large businesses, a software like that would be, you know, more beneficial. You know, it'd be more effective for them to putting out their social media content. But yeah, no, I guess anyone can use it, but it's more specifically tailored to individuals and small businesses.
Yeah, I think it's great. So moving on to the second new feature, which is the WhatsApp payment system. Yeah. So currently, WhatsApp has over 2 billion active users, which actually makes it the world's most popular messaging service. I didn't actually know that before, so that's really interesting. Yeah. And the platform has now launched a trial of its new in-app payment system, which took place in Brazil, because in Brazil, that is one of the largest WhatsApp markets with over 120 million active users. So in-app payments can be sent by either individuals or small businesses to complete transactions. And the platforms are currently using the payment method Cielo, which is popular in Brazil. I'm not sure if I've pronounced that right, but I think that's great. It's just another additional WhatsApp payment system that people are able to use. Yeah. So Jacob, do you want to talk about when people can use WhatsApp Pay?
Well, as you say, currently it's only in Brazil, but you know, if it's successful in Brazil, they may move on to other areas where WhatsApp's really popular. I think India, there are over 400 million WhatsApp users. Now, this could be another area that they trial this payment system. And as I say, if that's a success there, we may start seeing it in the UK. Yeah. So, like the scheduled tweeting feature, this is also key for businesses. Now, digital payments, they're used quite a bit. You know, you have Apple Pay, and you can also use your contactless cards. Hardly anyone uses cash anymore. So this payment system is really useful. And with the whole COVID-19, recently there's a fear factor. People don't want to be, you know, handing money over or even going into shops and purchasing stuff. So by introducing this WhatsApp Pay, Facebook are kind of you know, moving into this digital payment market, and they're going to be getting a lot of attention obviously, because it's a safer way of payment. And I think it can be taken advantage of by businesses, especially businesses like barbershops, you know, where they get their hair done and they go out and they can pay afterwards. I think this is really useful. And as I say, the accessibility with WhatsApp, you can allow, you know, users from Apple or Android to use this payment feature, which that in itself is must be a good, you know, a good feature for a business to use, because anyone can use it.
It's about it.
Yeah. So you guys in the comments, I see we've got another viewer actually. If you want to give us a comments, let us know. Do you think you would use this WhatsApp Pay, or do you use a digital payment system already? We'd love to know if you want to just comment. But Orla, what do you think?
Well, I think the best thing about it, like you said, is that, you know, with Apple Pay, that's only accessible to people who have an Apple phone, whereas this is accessible to Android too. So I think that is amazing about it, because I have an iPhone and I always use Apple Pay. It's so easy to do. You know, I haven't used it to send money to my contacts, but I just do it on the go. But I do think this is really good as well, because before, when I've been making transactions to my friends, for example, I always have to remember the sort code and account number to then do it on my banking app. So this will just be a lot quicker, a lot easier, more convenient. So I think it's great.
Yeah, so I think the same. We've got another question here from Steve. With the new WhatsApp payment feature, do you think more young adults will adopt it and start selling products and services? Do you have any ideas, Orla?
You know what? I think it might, because I think as a young person, it can be quite scary, and also you just don't always know exactly how to start your own business. And these days, it's so easy to just start it online rather than in store to get like more customers and people to see your business. So I think this will help with that, and encourage more young people to start their own business, because young people already make use of WhatsApp. So they're already familiar with the app itself.
I was going to say, you know, as people are more familiar to the platform, they know the way around it. They can use it themselves. So I think they will take advantage of this new payment feature. I know it's already on Facebook. They have Facebook Pay. Now this feature, they can send money in Messenger. Now this has been used by some businesses as well. So WhatsApp Pay, is quite similar, and I think more young people will use it, as I say, because they're familiar to the platform.
Definitely, yeah.
We've just got another comment. He says, "What issues can you see with this process?" Personally, I can see people being worried about the security of WhatsApp payment. You know, they don't know if this is, you know, if it's going to affect, if it's going to take money out, or if it's going to cost any money, or if it's easier to hack, anything like that. But I think, as it's not launched in the UK yet, I think they will use trusted cards to complete the payment process. So this will give it security, and it will make it more secure. Do you have any other issues with it, Orla?
No, I don't think so. I think you've covered everything with that.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the final new feature?
Yeah.
So the final feature that we're going to be talking about is the Instagram identification. So Instagram is actually owned by Facebook, and Facebook have been developing ways of reducing the number of trolls and fake accounts on Instagram, which I honestly think is great, because I think it's so bad how easily people can make fake accounts, and you know, they can spam you with loads of messages, inappropriate messages too. So I think this is really good. So one method developed by the company is an identification verifying system that will require a user's ID if an account has a particular reach. So I think this is a really good new thing, which is actually needed. So Jacob, do you want to talk about how people can, if they have to verify their existing accounts, so people who already have accounts, do they need to now verify this?
Yeah, no, this feature hasn't been launched yet, but there have been leaks, and a similar feature is already on Facebook. And what it does is, as soon as a post goes viral, or if it, I should say, it reaches a certain reach, then the account will be asked to produce identification. Now, this identification is just proving that you're a real person, and that you're not trying to get followers and likes to scam or produce fake news or fake content, whatever. So your existing account, it won't get required to produce identification until you reach a certain reach.
Yeah.
So it won't really affect many people. But if your account does reach a certain amount of followers or a certain amount of activity, if you don't produce your identification, your account could get suspended. Now, obviously, this is bad for people like influencers who they build a business off their Instagram. If they don't produce their identification, they could lose everything.
Yeah.
So you guys in the comments, do you think this feature is useful? Do you think it will prevent scamming and fake accounts from taking advantage of users on Instagram? And Ola, what do you think? Do you think it'll reduce the scam accounts and make Instagram a safer place?
I do, to an extent. However, I know that a lot of like fake accounts don't have a lot of followers, so I'm wondering how this will work with those accounts if they don't hit that certain reach. Because I've experienced many fake accounts like messaging me and things like that. And yeah, so I do think it is obviously great, because I've always thought for ages that something needs to be done about reducing the amount of fake accounts and people trolling on the internet.
Yeah.
And on like a business side of it, I think it's great for fake businesses who might be trying to make accounts as well. And then on a more personal side, for the younger audience who might use social media, it will actually help like the parents, be more comfortable with the child on social media in case of fake accounts contacting them. So I do think it is good.
I think this feature could be linked to Facebook Pay. As you know, Instagram is owned by Facebook, and this identification step could be hinting that maybe in the future there might be like an Instagram Pay system similar to WhatsApp. And obviously, as Facebook owns WhatsApp and Instagram, we could see all accounts being linked and money being able to be transferred throughout these different channels.
Yeah.
If you guys in the comments have any other ideas about what this could lead to, just let us know.
Let us know your opinions on it. Tell us what you're thinking, because it is really interesting to see other people's views on it.
So Heather's just commented saying, how will this work for business accounts? Will the ID provided need to be for the business owners, even though many employees use the social accounts? Now, this is a really good question. And as this identification, system hasn't been launched yet, we don't fully know. But I assume that someone who doesn't already have an account, they will have to produce their identification, or there may be a different system for business accounts. But that's a very interesting question. I want to know, what's going to happen in the future for business accounts. What do you think, Ola?
I do think they'd be more likely, providing the ID of the business owners, just because if the business owner is like a legit person, then the employees are more likely to be too, if that makes sense. Because as well, that would prevent, big companies sometimes have fake people making fake accounts of them, or influencers, people will make a fake account of them using fake photos and things like that. So I think it will, if it is like the business owner or like the main person, I think that's probably the best way for it to work. But obviously we can just wait and see what happens, and hopefully they'll provide us with that information.
Yeah. Well, guys, I want to thank you for putting your comments down below and keeping this Q&A session going by engaging. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I think next week we're going to be talking about how marketing has changed during this lockdown. The difference between online shopping and high street shopping. See how it differs before lockdown and after lockdown. So is there anything else you want to say, Ola?
No, I just want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and next week's will also be another interesting topic. It'll be the same time, same place, 1 p.m. on Facebook. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.